lift each other up when the other one's falling into sin. And now I'm not talking about just mourning when they mourn and sharing joy when they share joy and just sharing life. But there are times where you have to discipline each other in love. And you can't consider yourself higher or better than another person. That's not why you do it. It's because you see a sin that they're in and you think, oh my gosh, the enemy has tricked them. I need to help them. I would want them to help me. I would want someone to come to me. And when somebody is engaging in immoral, and when I say immoral, I mean sensuous behavior outside of marriage, lying, being prideful, being arrogant, being hateful, all these moral things that are things that we should be watching out for as Christians, and instead live like Christ would have lived. And the only way you can do that, by the way, is to ask the Holy Spirit to help you. And so, being in prayer every day with Him and asking for His guidance and His comfort and His direction is how you live like Christ. So you don't even do it on your own. It's Him that does it in you. But you have to be willing. That has to be a daily willingness. So, why do I always get off on this? Oh, well. Because it's who I am. Is that bad? Is that all I ever talk about? Oh, well. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So, I don't really remember what caused me to get on that rant, but I'm putting on my eyeliner now, and it is the famous DHC. Liquid Eyeliner EX. There is no better except the M Cosmetics. The liquid liner now. I'm not talking about a pen liner. This is an actual brush. Tiny, tiny, tiny brush. It's an artist brush. And that's why I'm not surprised at all. Oops, I never did I? I didn't. I never did really blend. Always blend edges, y'all. Always blend edges. Right through there, right through there. Just so there's no obvious lines. Then you can put on your eyeliner. That's when I always notice it, because, I'm putting this on and I notice where I am. And also, I'm in the mirror now, and so I also notice where I didn't blend out by my nose. Which you all probably noticed earlier in the video. But when you're on camera, you can't see all that. Oops, I almost just hit my eyelid, y'all. I'm so glad I didn't. Alright, now see how there's a break in the line right there? That's what you go back and fix. And also make sure your line got all the way down to the lashes so you don't see any white skin. There. That's pretty good for the day. Oh, and there. I thought I blended better. You know what? I'm noticing what this is. It is that new moisturizer, because I used it again today. And I'm noticing my makeup's not laying down very good. So it's not the Chanel. Of course, we knew that deep down. I was going to cry. Because I love my Chanel foundation. Both of them. I'm really liking the Vitalumere Aqua again. But, my favorite is really the Perfection Matte. Set one up a little bit. There we go. Down, I'm just going down there. Get a little more of a point on that. There we go. And make sure you get just literally lay it down right there on the lash line. There. Better. I feel like this is not very straight, y'all. It's always, you would think since I'm right-handed, this would be the easier eye, but it's not. It's always a boo-boo over here. Look at that big glob I just made. I'll have to fix that with a Q-tip, y'all. You can't fix that right now. and I don't have one in here, so I'll have to fix it as I leave. But anyway, so I got this new mascara. It's the Maybelline The Rocket Volume Express. And I like it. It's waterproof and very black. And I'm going to swirl it around in there and fill that, that brush up real good. And what I liked about it was the comb. It's that hard plastic teeth comb. And that's what Chanel has. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Chanel has the same thing. And I sometimes think that's part of the goodness of it. So this one's a little skinnier. But we're fixing to find out, is it really the formula of Chanel or is it that good brush? Now see, when you have the little goop that comes off on the end, don't get rid of that. Tip the lashes with it. You want to tip the lashes. Because it gives something when you're coming through for the product to come to and complete. It's sort of like when you do the trim first when you're painting and then you come into the trim. If you're not doing an alternate color. Obviously, usually you are. It's white. Usually most people do white. White trim. It's acceptable. This is a larger brush, so it's a little harder to work with. It's so fat. I'm having to really open my eye to get it even under my lashes. It's so fat. It's standing the lashes up pretty good, though. Remember, point the inner ones towards the nose and the outer ones towards the ear. And I'm just going to wiggle down for the lower lashes first pass. Then we'll come back and we'll tip them. This formula is hugging really good to the lash, I will say that. Y'all, this really stinks that I don't have my, I'm having to use my wrist as a towel. I had a couple of boo-boos, but it works because I'm rubbing it in. You do what you got to do. Hear that little suck sound? That causes all the goop to come off to the end. See how it's all goopy? That's okay. Tip out with that. Make sure none of your hairs are going to get in it, though. See how I tipped, and it just really picks up the tip end of length. It shows off the length. That's what you're doing. Because if you don't do this, you don't really get all the way to the end. A lot of people just buff underneath at the root, and so the end has no mascara on it. You can't see the length. And it also doesn't have a finished look that way. But if some people don't want a finished look, they want an edgier look. I don't know. Maybe that's an edgy look. To me, it's a very incomplete look. Looks like you didn't finish your makeup. This is doing pretty good for first pass, y'all. A lot of people, who aren't me, would think this is a good look for just a good day look and they'd be done right now. For me, I gotta have at least 2 passes. It's just a philosophy. Towards the nose, towards the ear. For some reason, sometimes these lashes just, I don't know, they don't take product as well. And these outer lower lashes are very hard to get as well. The dogs are barking. That must mean the children are going down the street to get on their school bus, would be my guess. I'm going back through with what's still on this wand. Now that's pretty good for 2 passes. I just got that in my hair. For just 2 passes. And not even going back into the barrel yet. You know what? I really could go with just this. That's good mascara. Now, if I went through it for a third round, let it dry a second, and then not too long. You don't want it to fully dry because then it's not movable. But let it dry just a second so it can thicken, and then, let me see where we are in the video. I would do a second coat, but honest to goodness, this is really good for a first coat, y'all. Really good. Again, it's the Rocket Volume Express, and this is the waterproof. I'm going to tip the lashes just a little again, and then I'm going to come through. Can you see? Yeah, it's really adding a lot of volume. And what volume is product? Letting a lot of product out. Unless you have really thick lashes, and you really wouldn't even need this then. You wouldn't need the second pass if you have really thick lashes. Wow. Just there. It's having a hard time pulling the product through. It was getting gooped up. Down, wiggle down, wiggle down. Now I am going to tip the lower lashes. And then I usually just use the tip in and pull straight down on the lashes. Just get them in position, if you will. There. Wow, that's a lot of volume. Is that just, I think it's just product. And that's okay, we like it. It's product building on products where you get the volume. So it can get clumpy, that's why you notice I'm moving very quickly. But I'm moving quickly, but I'm raking slowly. Does that make sense? To make sure I pull it all the way through and don't leave a big clump like that. And then remember to point towards the inner. And I'm going to hit the base real quick, and then I'm going to tip out the end. Oops. Don't want that to actually hit. Tipping out the ends. And I'm just pulling them straight down. Squint and it picks the, causes the lashes to come up a little bit. Whoop, there we go. Does that look right? Okay, there it is. So I think that's it for the day. That is my eyes. Did I go over? I did not. So this will be a part 1 and a part 2. But at least that's all. Be sure and get any excess product out of these little wrinkles from your mouth and from around your nose, right there at these little crux. Just drag down and out of there and out of here. There! Bring my little bangs back. So there is my look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye! Bye, 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 bye! All right. Have some coffee.